Hello, this is Brian. Today is Saturday, March 19th, 2022. I am on summit plateau of Mount Lukens in the San Gabriel Mountains Front Range, and kind of want to just do an appreciation video. In other words, an ode. And I want to shout out the beautiful Coulter Pine, Pinus coulteri. Yes, so this is not a spotlight video. This is another little series called Ode Videos, where I just take time to appreciate and enjoy and showcase some of our awesome trees. Now, I did a spotlight video back in July of 2019. If you want to take a look at the general characteristics and stuff dealing with the Coulter Pine, that would be a video might be worth checking out, just for the facts and everything. But now I just want to take some time on this video just to appreciate these incredible trees that survive in some pretty tough conditions compared to a lot of the higher mountain conifers that get a lot more rain and snow and less summertime heat. But the Coulter Pine, known for its absolutely monstrous cones, is a tree that just survives some pretty tough climate extremes, especially when it comes to heat, because they do live in areas where it gets very hot in the summer, sometimes regularly over 100 degrees, and a lot of times they'll look really hefty and luscious doing so. You can see here they have very long needles, so some of the longest needles of our pines. Gray pine, Pinus coulteri, a close relative of the Coulter Pine, both of which are in the yellow pine group, with the ponderosas and Jeffrey pines and so forth. They also have the gray pines also have quite large needles as well, but it's greener on the Coulter Pine. But one thing about Coulter Pines is, again, the cones. Some of these cones here are some of the largest cones I've ever seen. And I've seen some large Coulter Pine cones before. But one thing is, Coulter Pines can get some pretty hefty sized trunks. A lot of times these guys have branches down to the ground. A lot of places, especially in more open stands and in groves, a lot of times they'll have branches all the way down to the ground. But sometimes these trees can get some very large trunks, especially for trees that are usually not super tall. But I do really enjoy and appreciate the architecture of these fantastically beautiful trees. We've got a pretty nice trunk. It's probably only about 45 feet tall, but it's got the girth of a decent-sized ponderosa pine. So it's just worth sometimes just taking time just to appreciate each different species of tree, and a lot of times the different individuals from that species. So here on Mount Lukens, these trees are apparently planted by the Forest Service and are naturalizing up here. Could have been potentially natural here. They are native here in the San Gabriel Mountains, but just always loved these guys. Just beautiful trees. Dangerous as heck to camp underneath. When I park my car in Angeles National Forest, I try to make sure there's not a Coulter Pine really close, because if that falls on your car's damaged very badly. But nevertheless, These are trees I truly admire. They look how luscious and green these ones are. I know a lot of the Coulter Pines here in the San Gabriels are seeming to have some kind of health issues. I believe it's bark beetle, but it could be that or some kind of rust. But I believe it's a bark beetle that is starting to affect the trees quite a bit here in the Angeles National Forest and other places in Southern California. But luckily these beauties here are still very luscious, very rich green, very beautiful trees. Coulter Pines are really neat trees. You'll find them growing right in the middle of chaparral sometimes, even on a hot sun-baked south-facing slope. It's like 105 degrees outside, and yet here's a grove of Coulter Pines to keep you company. But I just want to take time to appreciate these trees and just showcase them on less of a fact and scientific based treatise, but just an appreciation for these awesome trees. And there are some nice Coulter Pines here on Mount Lukens. So after you enter your long slog from whichever direction you're hiking this mountain, take some time when you're near the summit. Just listen to that wind in the pines. The breeze is blowing right through the needles, creating that mountain music through these beautiful long-needled Coulter Pines. Pinus coulteri. So stay tuned for more ode videos, more appreciation videos for species of our awesome natives here in Southern California and beyond. Thanks for watching. Come check out a Coulter Pine for yourself.